Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, talking some MCM London speculation news. The con is supposed to be going on later on this week, in a few days at the time of this recording, and Hasbro's attending. And we already have two things that were confirmed to be revealed later on this weekend. And one of those things, let's get right down to it, is the Commander Class Age of the Primes Onslaught to get the Combaticons rolling next year. It's going to be pretty crazy. Now, we have seen the packaging render design of him. I don't know how heavily that's based off the figure, because, you know, with the drawings and packaging drawings for the characters and everything, they can differ from what the figure is depending on, you know, the example you throw out there. So really gonna have to wait and see, but going by the render, it seems like it's gonna be a pretty faithful rendition of his G1 design from the cartoon, which is pretty cool. You know, his design from the 80s is pretty sick. You know, I'm looking forward to it. Will I be getting it? Probably not. I've skipped out on all the Commander Class combiner torso leaders for characters and teams, so I'm probably just going to be skipping Onslaught as well, because I'm going to say it, you know, I just prefer the IDW stuff for the combiners, and I prefer the third-party IDW figures that have been made over the years for the Combaticons, you know, Predaking and the aerial bots and stuff like that. So this figure could be like a 5-star beauty, and I'm just being real with you guys. I would probably still pass. But, you know, it's really exciting and fun to just speculate on and just dream about what this figure's finna look like when we see it revealed in just a few days from now at the time of this recording, which is pretty crazy. You know, time is flying fast. But what I want to see with this Onslaught is, okay, hopefully the accessory count is good and it actually matches up with what G1 Onslaught is as a character. Maybe adding some things to just, you know, accentuate the $100 price tag that we're going to be paying for this guy now next year. You know, maybe adding some extra features to him. I don't know. You know how they do with some of these Commander figures. They do some things a tad bit different to, you know, make it seem like it's worth more the money and features like that. So hopefully they just, whatever they do with the features and the accessories, it's something actually good that, you know, reels you in to buy it and makes you feel like you're actually getting your money's worth, because, you know, that's, you know, Commander Class figures are pretty expensive now. They're not the $80 they used to be back in 2020. So and the articulation, hopefully he's got a hand joint in there, maybe an ab crunch would be cool, because his design really isn't too complex, and he's not really that tall of a character. So there is going to be quite a bit left open for interpretation, possibly. But then again, they would have to include all the extra combining pieces for him. So I don't know how much of the budget that's going to take up in terms of the Onslaught figure itself. You know, how much extra articulation and gimmicks or features or accessories and weapons we're going to get. So we're really just going to have to wait and see on what's balanced out in terms of what they were able to do with the budget on this guy, between the combiner accessories and, you know, his actual features and accessories for the Onslaught character himself. But hopefully it's just a nice mix and balance of all of that. Hopefully the head articulation is good, the leg and arms move smoothly. A nice little butterfly joint would be pretty cool, similar to what they've done with Commander figures in the past, like the 86 Optimus and stuff. Because again, his design really isn't too complex. So there could be room in there to add some extra pieces of movement and articulation that could really take this guy to the next level and make him, dare I say it, a mini masterpiece or a third-party masterpiece level in terms of articulation and engineering. That would actually be pretty crazy and pretty dope. But I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. There's a lot open for interpretation here. I don't even think we have any leaked descriptions on how this figure looks right now. It's pretty tight-knit and under wraps on what's going on with this Onslaught. But just in a few days, we're going to see how this guy looks, and I'm going to be dropping videos on it, talking about it, you know, discussion videos, topical videos, the same stuff I'll be doing on the channel, as always. Now, let's move on to the Timelines 2-pack that was basically confirmed to be revealed at MCM London a couple weeks ago during New York Comic-Con. They said something along the lines of the next Timelines 2-pack might be revealed or should be revealed at MCM London or something like that. So it's basically confirmed. We're just waiting on whether or not the timeline is still matching up for what was said at New York Comic-Con, and it should be, you know. But this Timelines 2-pack, it's going to be Bumblebee and Megatron, the same thing as we got this year with the Hearts of Steel Timelines subline with Optimus and Starscream, then Bumblebee and Megatron for the second 2-pack. It's the same thing for 2026, you know. We just got Optimus and Starscream revealed as a 2-pack. Now it's going to be B and Megs. And what could these guys be? Well, that's a $1 million question, isn't it? So I honestly don't know. I really don't know much about, what is it called? Feudo Japan or something like that. See, I don't know. I don't know, Jack, you know what about it? You know, it would be kind of cool if Bumblebee was like some sort of animal carrier transport similar to Optimus. You know, that sort of, I guess you could say, vehicle, you know, to kind of go in line with what the Autobots are for this, I guess you could say, like, era or iteration of Transformers. And then Megatron could be like, I don't know, some sort of other bird that was popular in that culture of Japan back in those times. Again, I don't know anything about Feudo Japan or any of the history behind that. I was spacing through most of social studies, outside of a few things that were cool with like samurais and action and battle stuff like that. I don't know any of the specific details, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to keep the Autobots from this quick little subline next year. Optimus and Bumblebee are going to be like animal transportation, quote-unquote, vehicles. And then Megatron and Starscream are going to be like bird modes and stuff like that to keep in line with, you know, the Decepticons are more so the flying faction, and then the Autobots are more so the ground-level car-based alt modes, you know. I think that's what they're going to do, just from somebody's surface level who, again, knows nothing about the intricacies and what options they could pull from in terms of Bumblebee and Megatron, from, you know, Megatron being a bird and Bumblebee being a ground-level animal. We're going to have to wait and see. But I'm sure some of you guys watching this video are into old school Japanese culture, so let me know down below, what do you guys think this Bumblebee and Megatron are going to transform into for this 2-pack? Because, you know, even though I don't know the intricacies, I do know for a fact that there is a lot they could pull from with the history, the stories, the mythos between that side and era of Japanese culture and history. So there's a lot to delve into. So even if you were to speculate on, there's like quite a bit of stuff you could pull from. So hopefully whatever Hasbro did do for this Bumblebee and Megatron, that's something actually good and cool, similar to what we got with Optimus and Starscream a couple weeks ago, because that 2-pack is a banger. I'm probably going to be getting that next year. The price is a tad bit steep maybe, but and Starscream is, you know, the weak link of the pack, but either way, those two are still pretty sick looking, and it's something that I've been wanting in Transformers for a long time, you know, taking these characters to new heights, different ideas, unique alt modes and designs for these classic characters, and they're starting to do that, which I love, you know. We're getting this with the Timeline subline, we're now getting it with Overgear over at Takara Overseas, which is cool. You know, we're finally delving back into this side of Transformers that really made it special in the 90s and the 2000s and the early 2010s that we've lost over the last 10 years or so, I'd say. But yeah, guys, let me know down below. How do y'all think this Commander Class Onslaught is going to be in terms of accessories and features, and how he's going to look and be engineered? And what do you guys think the Timelines 2-pack of Bumblebee and Megatron are going to be, like their alt modes and the accessories and stuff like that? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!